Hello everyone, my name is Vaishali Kamdar. I am a senior biology faculty at Saundarya Group Bansal Classes, Hyderabad. I'll be explaining you about the fifth chapter of 11th NCERT, that is Morphology of Flowering Plants. So this is fifth chapter of Morphology of Flowering Plants. So what are plants? So plants has root system as well as shoot system. So above the ground, whatever is present, that is known as shoot system. Below the ground, generally it is known as root system. So roots and stem or shoot which are developed from, you can see here, this is seedling. Yeah, in the seed we have plumule. From the plumule part of the seedling, that is embryo. From the plumule, what is going to develop, that is shoot system, above the ground one. And the lower side we have radicle. So in the radicle, it is developing as a root system. So now it's about root system. In root system, we have two main basic type of roots, that is fibrous root system and tap root system. You can see here this root system where you have this type of arrangement where one is a big root, the thick root in the middle one, and in the sides one, that is primary root. We can call this thick one as a primary root, and these are from that secondary roots come out, from that tertiary roots come out. That means you have one thick root in middle, which is known as your main root or your primary root. From that secondary roots and rootlets coming out, you can see here. So this type of root system is known as taproot system. In this type of root system, that is second root system, fibrous root system, you can see all the roots are of same type. There is no big one or no smaller one, no main one, and no primary and secondary one. So this type of fibrous root system also starts from radicle itself. What was radicle? The seedling, the above the embryonal axis, the point, the tip of it, which is known as radicle. So initiation of these root also occurs from radicle itself. Initially primary root is developed, that means this one, and then it is short-lived, means it is destroying, and it is replaced by similar type of roots which are developed from the base of the stem. So these type of root system is known as fibrous root system. We have one more root system, that is known as adventitious root system. In adventitious root system, roots do not develop from radicle part, means part other than the radicle, whatever roots are developed, that is known as adventitious root. So that means in the branch, in the banyan tree, from the branches the roots are developing like this. So these roots are developed from the branches of the stem, you can say, see like this. So these type of roots are not developed from the any part of the radicle. That's why it is known as adventitious root. What are the general functions of root? So general functions of the roots are absorption of water and minerals. It gives proper anchorage to the part of plant. It even starts storing the reserve food material, and it helps in the synthesizing plant hormones. These are known as plant growth regulators. So now regions of root. You can see in this diagram we have 4 different regions of root, where you have root tip. The tender root tip is covered by root cap. So first it is root cap. Then second, just above the root cap, you have so many cells which is having fast growth. That means they are continuously undergoing cell division. Which type of cell division is present here? That is mitosis. Okay, just above the region of mitosis means that is known as region of meristematic activity. In this region, we have so many cells which are fast growing, which are smaller in size. Just above that, now these cells will elongate in their size, so that is known as region of elongation. Next to that, we have region of maturation, where cells start maturing and start differentiating. Means now they are no more meristematic. They lose their capacity to divide further, and they are converted into some differentiated into some specific tissue. So this is known as region of maturation. From the region of maturation only this root hair start developing. There is a question asked in NEET that root hair, they are unicellular or multicellular. Yes, for this question you can give your answer in comment below. So root here generally they are unicellular or multicellular. Yes, I'll give you answer after your answers in the comment below. Okay, next to this, modification of roots. Roots are modified now. See, their main function is to give encourage, to absorb water and minerals. But other than that, whatever functions they are doing, that is known as modification of root. In that, we have different type of modification in the storage form. So you can see this is storage type of first type of root, that is food storage root. So roots start storing the food. If they have different based on their shape, we have fusiform, conical, napiform, tuberous type of root system. These all are, you can see here, turnip, asparagus, carrot, sweet potato. Here question asked on sweet potato especially. This is adventitious root. Adventitious root which starts storing the food. Okay. Other than that, turnip and carrot, that they are taproot which stores food. Then modification of root, in that second type, we have support. For support, roots are modifying. See, look here, this is prop root which is adventitious root. This is tilt root which comes from the base or the node which is near to the ground. From that it starts growing. So this is giving additional support to the stem. So that's why they are known as support type of root. Banyan tree has prop roots, and in case of this type of roots are present in sugarcane and maize. So these are known as tilt roots, from where they are developed basal nodes near the soil. So that means not exactly at the base of the stem, from the just above the base, whatever node is there, from that it starts developing. Then modification, last modification according to NCERT, that is respiration. So these roots which are developing, they are not towards the ground. That means they are opposite to the ground, or we can say negatively geotropic and positively phototropic. Photo means light. Towards the light it starts growing. You can see here, first they are growing downwards, then they are vertically coming upward like this to breathe. So these are also known as breathing roots. So this type of roots are present in mangroves or rhizophora. Their swampy areas is there, and in that soil is poorly aerated. There is no more oxygen left in the soil for roots to breathe. So that's why roots are coming vertically upward, and these type of roots are known as respiratory roots or nematophores. This is all about roots. Now moving towards the next. So that is types of root again, taproot, adventitious root. All together I have compiled everything. You can see the slide again, the presentation again, looking into this video and finalizing or rewriting all the examples of it. Then next, it's about stem. What is stem? Stem developed from the plumule part. Remember? Yeah. So it is above the embryonal axis, that is plumule part. From that stem start developing. So from the, develop from the plumule of the embryo, that is of the germinating seed. So, and stem, what is there in stem which is not there in roots? What makes it different from the roots? So if you look at the carrot, if you look at the potato, carrot is also storing food. Potato is also storage type of food. Carrot is root, but the potato is stem. So what makes it different from the root or carrot? Or ginger, why we consider ginger as stem modification? Because in stem we have nodes and internodes. What are nodes? From where branches will be start, and what are internodes? Between two nodes, the distance. This distance is known as internode. So modification of stem, they are modified to perform different functions. Whatever functions it is giving, based on that we have different types of modification of stem. Yes, we can see first modification, that is in form of food storage. So ginger starts storing its food, potato starts storing its food. So these type of ginger, turmeric, colocasia, potato, all these are different type of storage of stem modification. So what makes it different? In ginger we have nodes and internodes. In case of carrots, we do not have any nodes and internodes. So ginger being storage stem and potato being storage, ginger being storage stem and carrot being storage type of root. Next is for support. Yes, for support, see, if stem is too weak, it's not too thick, then it grabs the support from the side. For grabbing the support, it requires this type of spring type of mechanism. So this spring type of development starts from stem. This spring is known as tendrils. So we have tendrils in cucumber, melons and other member of Cucurbitaceae family. So this is stem modification, second stem modification. Next one is for protection. You can see this bougainvillea. This is a flower which is known as bougainvillea. See, in this flower is exactly this white one, they are flowers. This white one, they are flowers. But the pink ones, they are bracts. So this is not pink one, they are not actual flowers. But we are focusing right now on the stem modification. In that you have this type of small horns type of thing which are developed. They are known as thorns. They are pointed, sharp and woody. So this is for protection. In citrus family as well as in bougainvillea type, we have this type of protection from the herbivores. So when grazing animals like cow, buffalo or goat, they start grazing, they will stop eating this type of plants because of presence of this protected thorns in it. Next modification is for vegetative propagation. Vegetative propagation. In vegetative propagation, we have runner, sucker, stolen and offset. Runner. What is runner? You can see in grass. This is how one branch is moving parallel. One branch moves parallel to the ground, and from that a new grass will start growing. So after death of the previous one, new one will start growing. This is again from the vegetative part of the plant, not from the reproductive part of the plant. What is reproductive part of plant? That is flower. So here development of new plant occurs not from the flower but from the vegetative part. So that's why we are calling it as a vegetative propagation. What is runner? In that aerial branch with long internode and roots and nodes, it's running parallel to the ground. Next is stolen. In that elongated horizontal branch, first it grows upward, then coming downward. So it forms this type of arc. You can see this arc here in the diagram. You can see first it is growing upward, then coming downward, upward and downward. What is formed here? That is called arc or stolen. This type of thing we have in mint and jasmine. Next one is offset. Runner, stolen, offset. Now offset you can see in mostly in case of aquatic plant like Piscia and Econia, where you have this leaves are developed from one node and even bunch of roots will be coming out of it. One branch runs again parallel to that, but here internode distance is very small, very short. You can see compared to runner it is very short. Again you get tuft of leaves and bunch of roots from that. Next, last one, that is one is we call is runner, sucker, sucker. In case of pineapple and chrysanthemum, you have again underground branch which is coming upward. That is in case of pineapple, chrysanthemum and banana. So now assimilation of food. For food assimilation we have next modification. In case of opuntia, here stem completely. These are xerophytic plants where you have very less water. In desert area, this type of plants are present, where you don't have any leaves to do photosynthesis. So what this stem becomes flat just like leaf, and then they become even green also, and it start photosynthesizing. So this is for assimilation in case of opuntia. This is also known as phylloclade. Opuntia is also example of phylloclade. So underground stem modification. This is subaerial stem modification. Look at the PPT again and then note down all the examples. Then moving towards the next one, that is leaf. So leaf is the part of plant which is doing photosynthesis. Means we call it as kitchen of the plant also. It is making food for the complete plant. So it is doing photosynthesis. What is actually structure of leaf? You can see here. This is structure of leaf. It is generally flat like this. This is example of dorsiventral leaf, where you have this palm-like flat structure that is known as leaf lamina. In that you have big vein in between, that is known as midrib. Then you have even lateral veins and veinlets. You have this stalk of leaf which is attaching it to the stem. The stalk of leaf is known as petiole. It is called petiole. This is only making fluttering of the leaf in the air. So fluttering of the leaf occurs in the air just because of petiole. At the base of leaf, you have small leaf-like appendages which is known as stipule. Even you have one bud there which is axillary bud. So this is general structure of leaf. Then leaf venation, we have two main types of venation. This type of venation where you have one midrib and side veins. Again from that new veins like this, smaller veins will come up. So this type of net type arrangement is there, that is called reticulated venation. And you can see here this parallel venation where veins are running parallel to each other. So this is called parallel venation. Reticulated leaf is present in dicots mainly, and these parallel leaves are mainly present in monocotyledon plants. Then types of leaves, we have two main types of leaf, simple leaf and compound leaf. This is simple leaf, but if you have incision like this, means scissors leke, if you start cutting it into, dividing it into smaller leaflets, then we call it as complex or compound leaf. So this is simple one. In this you are making incision towards the midrib. So this is actually midrib of the leaf where you have complete leaflets developed like this. So you can see this is feather-like arrangement. So this type of leaf, this type of compound leaf is known as pinnately compound leaf. It looks like feather. Okay, where you have another type of incision. This is petiole. Incision towards the tip of the petiole. So it's a palm type of arrangement. If this is your petiole, complete incision towards the tip of the petiole. So this is known as palmately compound leaf. Next. Next, phyllotaxy of leaf. So phyllotaxy means arrangement of leaves on branches. So how leaves are arranged on the stem and branches, that is called phyllotaxy of leaf. So leaves arrangement can be of three types: alternate, opposite and rolled. If one node, one leaf, you can see here, this is one node, one leaf. One more node, one more leaf. One node, one more leaf. Like this, at one node, there is only one leaf, that is known as alternate type of arrangement. Opposite, in opposite one node, two leaves. In guava, you have this type of arrangement. At each node, two leaves will be developed on opposite to each other. That's why on opposite side to each other, that's why we call it as opposite type of leaf phyllotaxy. We have in calotropis and guava. Then rolled one, you can see here, at each node you have more than one leaf. So more than one leaf at each node, so this is known as, it is forming complete a roll around it. So we call it as rolled. In Alstonia, you have this type of phyllotaxy. The next one, modification of leaves. Leaves are mainly meant for photosynthesis. Other than that, if they start doing some other function, we call it as modification of leaf. So in that first modification is for storage of food. So leaf modification for storage of food, you can see here in case of onion. Leaves start storing food, it becomes fleshy. In case of onion and garlic, which are example of storage form of food. And then second leaf modification, that is tendril. You can see here in pea plant, again not from the stem, These are modified leaves to make the spring-like arrangement, which is known as leaf tendril, which is present in pea plant. The next one, these are spines. You have cluster of spines. These are leaves development for the spines. Over cactus, leaves are converted into spines, means thorn-like arrangement, but they are smaller than thorn, not single, maybe in cluster. So these leaves are modified for the protection, as well as second function for the spines are they are reducing the transpiration rate, as they are in xerophytic area, means in desert area there is very less water present in the environment, in the soil. So if leaves are present, then leaves will have stomata into it. So from the stomata transpiration occurs, means water will get evaporated in form of transpiration. So if at all leaves are present, they will be doing transpiration. So here that's why only leaves are modified to form spines. So spines giving two function, spines are giving two function, reducing the rate of transpiration as well as protection. Then next one is phyllodes. This is very important for NEET point of view. In case of Australian acacia, you can see here this is also Australian acacia and this is also Australian acacia. Leaves are too tiny. You can see here they are too tiny, which are shedding off from the tree. So who will make food now? So in that case, petiole becomes leaf-like. This is the short stalk of the leaf only, which is converting just like leaf and doing additional photosynthesis. So this here petiole is converted into leaf type thing, which is known as phyllodes. This is present in Australian acacia. Then we have last modification of leaf, that is leaves are turning into pitcher and Venus flytrap in case of insectivorous plants. See, all plants are not autotrophic. These type of plants, they are heterotrophic. They will start eating insects also. So in case of Venus flytrap, you have this type of flytrap where completely here fly will be sitting and then it is getting trapped within that trap. So you can see this is fly trap where fly will be sitting here. And in case of pitcher, this is the pitcher where it's a jug type of arrangement where insect will sit here and it will be dragged down in the pitcher. So this type of arrangement, pitcher as well as Venus flytrap, it is from the leaf modification. The next one, now it's about inflorescence. What is inflorescence? For sure, one question from the inflorescence in NEET mostly. So inflorescence means arrangement of flowers on floral axis. We have two main types of inflorescence, racemose and cymose. You can see here in this plant. This is actual picture of the plant where tip is continuously growing. See, always remember young flowers towards the tip, old towards the base. That is known as racemose type of inflorescence. This type of succession is known as acropetal succession. See, I'll draw here. If this is your tip, you have younger flowers towards the tip and older flowers towards the base. Young always towards the tip, but tip is free. So after some times again tip will be growing and more younger flowers will be growing towards the tip. So tip is free and the growth of plant is indefinite. Means continuously it is occurring, the growth is continuous and new young flowers will come towards the tip. So this type of inflorescence is known as racemose type of inflorescence. Here they will ask question based on the tip and the succession of the plants. So acropetal succession they have. The same type of acropetal succession we have always in case of leaf. Leaves are not having any other succession. But you can see here where young flowers are towards the base. Where young flowers are towards the base, but the old remains at the tip. So this is known as basipetal succession, basipetal order. So basipetal order is known as cymose type of inflorescence, where tip is terminated as a flower. So there is no free tip which is continuously growing. So tip is not growing here. The plant's growth is ceased here. So plant can be in this much height only, where you have flower at the tip and at the base new new young flower will be born. This type of inflorescence is known as cymose inflorescence. Then types of racemose inflorescence, which is not in NCERT, but they might ask question as per last NEET 2025. Some of the questions they are asking around the NCERT. So you can see here corymb, corymbose, raceme. Then next one is umbel, spike, catkin, different types of racemose type of inflorescence, where this is very important, head and capitulum. So head and capitulum we have in case of sunflower. So if you are gifting anyone one flower of sunflower, that is not actually one flower. It is considered as per biology as one bouquet because it is made up of so many flowers in it. So these all are florets. In the center we have brown color florets. These are known as disc florets. And the whatever color sunflower, if you are giving yellow color sunflower, the yellow petals we generally think these are not yellow petals of it. They are known as ray florets of it. So each sunflower is equal to one inflorescence. Each sunflower is equal to, as per biology, one bouquet. Then the flower itself, reproductive organ of plant. So flower, if it is bisexual flower, if it is complete flower, it contains 4 main roles. So these 4 roles are androecium, gynoecium, calyx and corolla. First it is calyx. Outermost role of plant. Outermost role of flower. In outermost role, in the bud stage where flower is protected, it's a green color generally, so they are calyx. They are made up of sepals. So sepals together form one roll, that is called calyx. When calyx is opening, flower will be blooming. So it is main function of calyx is to protect the plant or protect the flower in the bud stage. Then next one is corolla. Corolla made up of different colored fragmented generally petals. So petals together form this roll, that is called corolla. It is responsible for attracting insect towards the flower. So for attraction you require color as well as fragrance. So it is even containing nectar in it to provide to the pollinators. Then androecium or stamen. This is male reproductive organ of flower, which is made up of anther and filament. Then gynoecium of flower. Innermost roll is gynoecium, which is made up of pistil, which contains stigma, style and ovary. That is female reproductive organ of flower. You can see here, these two are known as calyx and corolla. They are known as accessory organs, as they are not participating in reproduction, but they will be helping in reproduction. Floral roles will be divided into 2 main types, accessory organs and reproductive organs. Means some of the roles, there are 2 roles which are not participating in actual reproduction. They will be just helping in the reproduction, like calyx and corolla. So calyx is protecting in the bud stage, as well as corolla is responsible for attracting. It's a members. It is members of it is they are known as petals, which is brightly colored and which attracts the pollinators towards the it. So that's why it is called accessory organ. Main reproduction, in which male reproductive organ and female reproductive organs are participating. So then in case of accessory organs, if we have sepals which are united, they are fused. That means one sepal, next to that next sepal, again next sepal, like that the margins of it is touched, then we call it as gamosepalous. If they are separated, then we call it as polysepalous. Same way in petals also, petals fused, we call them as gamopetalous, and if they are separated, means if they are free, then we call it as polypetalous. So if flower is having only one reproductive organ, we call it as unisexual flower based on stem and staminated. If pistil is there, pistillated. Then bisexual flower means all 4 roles will be there. Next one, so actinomorphic, this is called symmetry of flower, where flower, you can cut the flower into 2 equal halves at any axis only with one condition, that axis should cross the center. So this type of flower is known as actinomorphic. If you cut it into two equal half, just only in vertical axis, like in animals we have bilateral symmetry, like that only if bilateral symmetry is there, we call it as zygomorphic. Then if you don't have any particular symmetry like in canna flower, then we call it as, this is canna flower, where we call it as asymmetrical flower. So these are some actinomorphic and zygomorphic flower with pictures. So picturized memory will last longer. So bracts, what are bracts? Bracts means below the flower. If you have leaves present below the flower, just like in bougainvillea I told, so these are known as bracted flowers. Then based on the numbers of petals and sepals, we call it as trimerous, tetramerous and pentamerous flower. If number is 3 or multiple of 3, then trimerous, 4 or multiple of 4, then tetramerous, 5 or multiple of 5, then pentamerous. Then next it is hypogynous flower. What is hypogynous flower? You can see here, ovary is at the top position. Ovary acquires the top position, all other roles starts from the base of the, that is why we call it as superior ovary, and this type of flower is known as hypogynous flower, like in China rose, mustard. Then next one is perigynous flower. You can see here that from the, it's not completely superior, not completely inferior. So that type of half inferior ovary if you have, then this type of flower is known as perigynous flower. Then epigynous flower, where complete ovary is at the base. So at the base if ovary is present, so this ovary only will turn into fruit. If you see guava flower, it will be like this, where ovary at the base, from the top of it, calyx corolla will be arising. So this part becomes a guava later on. So above that, whatever rolls will be there, they'll be shedding off. Then next is estivation. What is estivation? How the calyx and corolla, they are, or petals and sepals are arranged. As I told you, that if 3 or 5 petals you have, if the margins only touching to each other, that is known as, this type of estivation is known as velvet type of estivation. If 5-seater car you have, in that only 5 members are sitting, that means only you can touch to each other. Only margins can be touched to each other, that is known as velvet type of estivation. Next type of estivation is twisted. If in 5-seater car, in the back side seat where only 3 persons can sit, but I will push for 5 persons. So 5-seater we make them to sit in the back side seat of the 5-seater car. Then how they will sit? One is on the front side, one will be on the back, one will be on front, one back. So that means this is how it will be. One margin or one side of the petal outside, one inside. Outside, inside. So that means they will be completely twisted to each other. This type of estivation is known as twisted one. Then next one is imbricate. Here this is a type of twisted only. But you can see complete one petal is inside. Means both the sides of it is completely inside, and one is completely outside. So one is completely inside, one is completely outside, and other are twisted. So this type of estivation is known as imbricate one. And last one, vexillary, where you have one big petal at the base and 2 petals in the front. So these 2 petals are known as wings, you can see here. And in front of that again 2 more petals which are fused. So total 5 petals, one at the back side, again 2 they are separated, again smaller 2 which are fused. So standard wings and keels. This type of estivation mainly present in Fabaceae family. In pea plant, that is known as vexillary. We write as floral formula also as 1 plus 2 plus 2 into bracket. Just a second. So we write for this corolla also. So for corolla we have C symbol, that we write 1 standard, 2 wings and 2 keels which are fused. So we don't make any bracket over here. Just a second. Yes. So this is how you can write in floral formula. Next, androecium. So in androecium we have, it is made up of anther and filament. So anther contains this type of two lobes into it, which has this type of microsporangium where it will produce pollen grain. If you have stamen which is not producing any pollen grain, that means sterile one, that is known as staminode. So you can see here epipetalous and epiphyllous. What does that mean, epipetalous and epiphyllous? You can see here, if they are attached to perianth, if stamens are attached to perianth, then they are known as epiphyllous in lily flower. Then epipetalous means stamens, all stamens are attached to petals. So in brinjal you have this type of epipetalous. What is polyandrous? You have so many anther filament, means so many stamens, but all of them are free. Monoadelphous, you have only one bunch of it. You can see here, one bunch, complete one bunch of all the stamens. So this is known as monoadelphous. But if you have two bunches of stamens, like here you have one bunch of 9 stamen and one will be free. So 9 plus 2 arrangement is known as diadelphous. You can see here in citrus plant you have 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 bunches in citrus plant. So this is known as polyadelphous. Then gynoecium, which is divided into stigma, style, ovary. Inside ovary you have ovules present. So carpel can be divided into two main types, apocarpus and syncarpus. If you have free carpels, then it is known as apocarpus. If carpels are fused together to make a bunch, then we call it as syncarpus. Then placentation. Inside the ovary, how ovules are placed, that is known as placentation. So arrangement of ovules within the ovary of a flower. So you can see here these are ovules, where you have one ridge completely like this. So ovary in which the placenta forms the ridge along with the ventral structure. So all ovules attached to that one line, one ridge, that is why it's known as marginal placentation. Next is parietal placentation. You can see all the ovules, these are ovules, they are attached to periphery of it. So ovules develop in the inner wall of the ovary, and ovary is said to be parietal placentation. This type of arrangement is parietal. Next is axial placentation. They are present in the axis. Here ovary is divided into compartments. It is divided into 3 lobules. So loculated ovaries you have, and this is called axial placentation. Next, basal one. At the base you have only one ovule, that is called basal one. Then free central. You can see ovules are present in the center without attaching to any periphery or any axis, that is called free central. Then the fruit. Fruits are generally true fruits and parthenocarpic fruits and false fruit. If ovary is turning into fruit only, we call this type of fruits as a true fruit. If fruit develop not from the ovary but other part of it, then we call it as false fruit. If fruit development without any fertilization, we call that as parthenocarpic fruit. So you can see here, they have given you 2 examples of mango and coconut. Both of them are drupes. What are drupes? Drupes generally develops from the monocarpellary superior ovary. Here you have 3 walls. The fruit wall is divided into 3 sub-walls. So outer wall is known as epicarp, middle one is known as mesocarp, and the inner one is known as endocarp. All 3 together they are known as pericarp. So wall of it is known as pericarp, which is divided into 3 layers. In case of mango, you have mesocarp, which is edible. In case of coconut, no parts of the fruit wall is edible. Inside the coconut, whatever coconut water and white kernel part of it is there, it is its endosperm. Then seeds are divided into monocotyledon seed and dicotyledon seed. If you have only single cotyledon, that is called monocot. Two cotyledon, dicot. So structure of dicot seed. This is how you have two cotyledon where plumule and radicle will be there. So this is called, in that again seed coat is divided into two layers. Testa, that is outer one, inner one is tegment. And you have pore like structure here from where seed will soak the water and it start germinating. Water soaking required for germination. If you want to make chole, you are soaking chana in the night. So from where the water enters into it? From the micropylar region. Then monocot seed, in that you have, this is its scutellum. What is scutellum? It's cotyledon. Cotyledon. Okay. And this part is endosperm. So scutellum is the single cotyledon of monocot, where you have plumule, which is covered by a sheath that is known as coleoptile, and radicle, which is covered by a sheath that is known as coleorhiza. This scutellum is separated from the endosperm with this proteinous layer that is known as aleuron layer. These type of seeds are known as endospermic seed, as well as they are also known as, we call it as albuminous seeds. So these are semi-technical description of floral formula and floral diagram. You need to remember these symbols to make the floral diagram, and plant families we will be doing separately in the separate section. So from this there are five plant families which they have included in NTS NEET syllabus, so which is not part of NCERT also. So we will do it in a separate class. So as of now we will keep this lesson till this point. For semi-technical terms, floral diagram and floral formula and all plant families, there will be separate class for that. Yes, for more information you can subscribe to our channel, that is Saundarya Group Bansal Classes, or else you can even follow us on Instagram, that is same Saundarya Group Bansal Classes. For more information for offline admissions, you can directly contact to Bansal Classes, Hyderabad. Thank you so much.